Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Tuesday, the 9th of November, 2021, Tuesday of the 32nd week of the year. But more importantly, today is the feast of the Lateran Basilica, the Basilica of St. John in the city of Rome, on the southeastern corner of the city of Rome, and it is a strange feast to have. It's not a memorial, not a solemnity, but it's a feast, the second in order of the observances that in our calendar, in our liturgical calendar. But unlike other feasts or other solemnities, other memorials, it is not about a person or Christ or any kind of manifestation of the saints or Christ or anything else like that. It is about a building. There are four more. Actually, there should be four more. Three more. There's four altogether. There should be three more memorials about special buildings within our tradition. But the Lateran itself, the Church of St. John Lateran, is considered a feast, the highest among the buildings that are remembered in our calendar. It would seem strange to do that, but again, space shapes us as believers, as human beings, and because space shapes us, honoring those spaces that contain great meaning and great purpose and great history within our tradition as Christians is important to celebrate. And so that is what we do on this day. So coming to you from the chapel, from our little chapel over here, because we haven't seen it in a long time, and so it is good for us to be able to look at it once again here from the outside, still here, with the fall colors and the trees kind of shaping it and framing it quite lovely, beautifully. Another blue Carolina sky today. The thing about the Lateran is important always to remember is that it is the most important of all the churches, more important than St. Peter's. Although the body of St. Peter lies in the Basilica of St. Peter, the Basilica of St. Peter becomes a papal residence rather late in the game, kind of after, more or less after the Reformation, maybe a little bit before then, but more or less permanently after the Reformation. And it was a way to consolidate the power of the popes. St. John Lateran is very different. It is the first church that is given in the West to Christians to be able to assemble in, built by Constantine himself. So back in the 4th century. So the church has an ancient history. And because it was given to Christians as the first place to assemble in the city of Rome, it became the seat of the Bishop of Rome and continues to this day to become the main church for the Bishop of Rome, for the Pope. And so it contains great value and meaning because of that. It is a very different kind of experience. It does not have the crowds or the security that St. Peter's does, nor does it have the rudeness that St. Peter's does with its Swiss guards and their kind of animosity towards, pilgrims and people and tourists and whatever it is. Not a happy place sometimes to go to St. Peter's, but a wonderful visit to make to St. John Lateran. You should not go to Rome without making a trip to St. John Lateran, because it is a glorious, beautiful church, and it is the mother church, the seat of Christianity in the West, in the city of Rome, and then throughout the world. So the readings for today special readings today focus upon what it means to be not just a place and a building in which to assemble as believers, but what it also means for believers themselves to be the place of residence for the Holy Spirit, that we are the temple of God, that within us God's Spirit dwells, and we are called to give witness through what we say, what we do, how we respond, and how we act to things in this world. The strength to be able to do that comes from the buildings in which we assemble. And so to honor these buildings and to revere them, again, not as things in and of themselves, not as things that can become idolatrous, but as places in which our understanding of who and what we are called to be as believers in this world comes to light, and is built upon and through which we grow. The gospel reading today is the cleansing of the temple, of the money changers, but again, that was because of the inappropriate use of the temple for people's own needs, for people's own financial outcomes and financial desires. Now the temple is used to be able to glorify God, and the temple that is us as believers in this world is the source and the main locus, the main source of that glorification of God in this world. To remember that and to live in that way, to help us understand our role as believers in this world, comes from how we participate in these places of assembly, in these churches that have been built for our use and to be put to the right use, to allow God's Spirit to descend upon us, to remain with us, and to give us that courage to live lives of faith in the world. And may the Lord give you his peace.